what you should take from this podcast is that it's going to be very hard for a new player with 0 points to get an invite. It will not be impossible. It is, you will have to do very well. You will have to grind it, and like I said, it matters what region of the country you're in and what your League Cups look like, and that everyone's invite map is different. Yo, what up, guys? Welcome to Faded Town, number one Pokemon podcast in the world. These are facts. Look them up in a book. Google that shit. PokeStats it. Dino data. Country bull. Local library. All the jokes, you know. Nexus. We're still number one Pokemon podcast in the world, boys. We got. Make sure you like, subscribe. Do all the cool things down below. Still, like, I think it's like 67% of you guys are not subscribed. Just hit that button. Share it with your friends. I mean, tournaments are coming soon. You want to get this information out to people, man. Don't let your boys miss out, you know? So make sure you share it with your friends. First time watching. This is a mostly competitive TCG podcast. I'm usually joined by some great players. Rahul, Reddy, Isaiah Bradner, Carter. They're usually on. Not this week. To be honest, it was Halloween. We all were busy. I was doing stuff. And so I didn't want to leave you guys with nothing this week, so thought I'd jump on and just like kind of give a breakdown of like what's going on in Pokemon, what my expectations are going into the season, what you guys should look forward to. We have Fusion Strike right around the corner, which is a big set. It's not the set we're gonna play our first regional at, but it brings in a deck that is going to be very strong. The Mew VMAX deck is going to be very strong, and that card is going to be good as long as they print fusion Pokemon, right? And I don't see why they would stop, because even in this set, I'm pretty sure there are single strike, rapid strike Pokemon, so you just have to think that in the future, if any decent Fusion Strike Pokemon is printed, Mew gets more tools. So Mew is a really good card to invest in. If you're going to invest your money in something, Mew is a great card. And if you played in the past, we kind of had the same thing with the Mew GX tag team, where it just copied all GX Pokemon. It just had so many tools. The card was very versatile. The card was good. So something really good to invest in. You could probably, I'm probably saying now, going in the Worlds next year, that deck will be a contender. Like in some form, Mew Fusion Mew will be a contending deck. Especially because we just never know what's going to get printed. So look at that. Oh, we got the announcements of the tournaments coming. It really put a lot of hope into people, which I don't want to take hope away from people, but it's going to be tough, guys. If you're coming into the season and hoping to make Worlds this year and with 0 points, you're gonna do it on like a half a season. A little more than half. And I just kind of want to put that in perspective. It's like you have to really want it. You have to really want it, and you have to be willing to grind and not get it. And that's tough for a lot of people, I think. When I went into this season, which was the 2019-2020 season, I was in the mindset of getting my Worlds invite 100%. Trying the year before, I learned a lot in 2018, 2019 when I put a good effort in to get it. And I came short by about 50 points. That's tough, you know? It's very tough. My NA, I dropped NAIC when I knew I couldn't get it. If I would have not dropped, I would have earned points at NAIC, and I would have been about 50 points short. So, with that said, it all came down to that tournament, and it's tough. That's, like, to be honest, is one League Cup win in a whole year. That all I had to do was pull off one League Cup win. Go to one extra League Cup, you know? Maybe don't go out with your friends one weekend and go to that League Cup and try to take the win, you know? It's little things like that that sometimes make the biggest difference. If you really want it. I mean, sure, there's a lot of people with 1,000 points, or 800,000 points, you know? They do really well at every tournament they go to, and it's hard to expect that if it's your first time going for an invite. And I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't go to every regional in day 2. I'm going to say it's unlikely. I'm going to say it's very unlikely for a player that's going for his first Worlds invite to day 2 regionals consistently. It's just unlikely. But you can do really well. I'm not doubting anyone. I don't want you to take this as like, oh, he doesn't think I'm good. I just want to be more realistic of what a first year invite looks like. You know? But coming that short, I've heard this many times. Many people, even like Rahul and stuff, he said his first time trying for his invite, he came short. And like, when you come short, you just think in your head, you want to play in that tournament. And like, I went to that Worlds, and I hung out with all my friends, and they were getting their swag bags, and they were getting ready for the tournament, and everything looked great. Like, they were having so much fun. And like, you just say in your head, never again. Never again am I gonna not make it. Like, I'm gonna grind stupidly. I'm gonna make sure I get there. And like, it's really tough. It matters where you're at. I think if you are an East Coast player, or a California player, your grind is a lot less. It's crazy how regionally it changes. As a Vegas player, we have 1 to 2 shops that will run a League Cup and a League Challenge a month. With that being said, one of them's on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. Not making those anymore. So that's not an option for me. So now I'm down to 1 League Cup a month in Las Vegas. And that could be you. That could be you in where you're at. If you're a California player, you're looking at a League Cup a week. Easily. If not more. Maybe 2 League Cups a week. And that's the unfair reality of this. The opportunities are not equal. They're not equal for everyone. And so don't take it discouragingly that your point totals, you know? All the other boys on this podcast have their invite. Carter has like 500 exactly. He's a California player. Isaiah Bradner and Rahul are both East Coast players with many league cups, and they have thousands of points. I don't think they just get the points because there's that many tournaments. They have more opportunities, but they also do well. They have a lot of points, you know. I'm not going to sit here and say if I had that many opportunities of league cups, I would have 1,000 points. No. But it takes the burden off of you. If I want an invite, I got to travel every weekend to either California or Arizona, whichever has a league cup. And to go that far and lose is very discouraging. It's very, it hurts your ego. It hurts everything because you spend a lot of money driving these places. To get nothing out of it is tough. And sometimes it's not worth it. It's not. At the end of the day, it really isn't worth it. Like, imagine how much you want it, how much you really want to go to Worlds. And at this point, I have 250 points. I will be grinding out League Cups as much as possible. I will be making all those trips as soon as they're announced. Because I got to get my invite this year. And I have to compete at Worlds this year. And if I don't make it, it's going to be very disappointing. I don't think I'll miss. I think I do decent at a couple regionals and hit my League Cups. And I think I can only do like 1 or 2 more challenges. I think I can do 2 challenges, so not really worried about the challenges. Should be fine on that. I just gotta hit the League Cups and do decent at that. But there's always an AIC, which can get you a big chunk of points. So that's the thing. That's something a lot of new players don't register, and everybody gets so excited for the season, you know, like, oh, I want to get my invite. Yes, let me do this. And then you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of League Cups, you know. Then you travel 4 hours and you go O2 drop. And then you take that car ride home and you're like, such a waste of money. Such a waste of time. Like, I don't want to do this. And then the next week, when your boy that's grinding hits you up, hey, let's drive 4 more hours to go play at this League Cup. Your mentality changes. You go from this excited person to wanting to get your invite to, no, I don't want to do that. No. And I've been left behind, or not really left behind. I've been left out to dry many times by people that thought they wanted to do it or wanted to go to this, and and like, I don't blame them. Like, I get that mindset too. When you go to something like that, when you go that far for a League Cup and you do bad and you realize there's not that many League Cups, you know? Like, how many more can I waste? I'm not going to get my invite anyways. Why waste the money to drive that far? Why not just stay home and do something else, you know? And I get it. And that's why I say it's like important to, if you are gonna get on this grind, if you are gonna, is to be really committed, and find people to work with that you feel are really committed. Because like where I'm at in my mindset is I'm gonna go. I win or lose these stupid league cups that are miles away, and I know how much it sucks to lose. I'm gonna go. So I need to find someone else who has that same mindset, because it gets real, like really crappy when you start going to these things by yourself. When you're driving 4 hours solo to these things and you're eating fucking Wendy's by yourself every weekend and you're doing that, like, you know, at the end of the day, the goal is for Worlds. Like, it's all, this is what you want to do, this is it, it is what it is. But it gets dark, dude. It gets dark to where, like, when you do, if you do mess up, and you do, even when you win, dude, even when you win, you go 4 hours to this thing and you dominate a League Cup, like, cool, got my 40, 50 points, and now I'm driving home, and it's like, no one to celebrate with, no one to be like, yes, we did it, you know, or no one to make fun of that, like, sucked, you know? Like, that stuff's fun still. That's why I really encourage finding someone that are on the same frame as you. Like, they want to get their invite, they want to travel, they're gonna go. I've heard it time and time again from all these people, but it's different when you start losing. It's so much different when you start losing. You gotta find the people that are okay with losing and want to keep going. And that's tough. And it's hard to find, and I don't blame people for stopping, because it is a waste of money. It's a big waste of money if you're not gonna get your invite. Like, if you've decided I'm not even gonna get my invite anyways, why would I go to these League Cups, you know? And I can't blame anyone. Like, the grind is insane. It's insane for it if you don't have a lot of League Cups. And League Cups are so, like, important in the points chase, because, like, technically you could get your whole invite on League Cups. If you can win all your League Cups and a couple league challenges, like, that's your invite. So it's tough. Like, how important those are. Like, when you go, if you've never been to a regional, you'll realize once you get to your first regional, how, like, those are hard. They're not easy tournaments. None of them are easy. Like, day 2ing those is an accomplishment. Obviously, the goal is to win. But I would set many goals as someone that's just trying to get your first invite. Don't place goals too high. Don't go to a regional going, it's win or bust, you know? You should start with, like, day 2, or, like, day 2 is a good platform to start on. Like, in your head is like, the milestone of this tournament in Utah is, if I day 2, I did it. I fucking made it, guys. I made it. And, like, just putting that mindset in is very good. It's very gradual, because once you get into a situation where you are day 2ing, you start playing a lot higher caliber players, and you start realizing what level you're at, because you realize that these people are beatable and you are playing very well because you've got it here. But to go into a tournament and just think I'm gonna win, I think is a very bad mindset. Unless you're on that level, like Rahul or a Bradner level, their mindset going into this tournament is to win. They've done everything else, you know? And that's where their mindset should be. But as someone that's new, that's never played out a regional, or has never day 2 to regional, Tate Whitesell, this guy out here is reaching for the stars when he's jumping out of puddles. I'm just playing, man. I love you, Tate. But yeah, you should just look to day 2. Don't put expectations too high. Regionals are tough. You learn that quick. They're not a joke. So keep your expectations lower. I think you should lower your expectations and be happy if you go further. You know? And take it as stepping stones. Like, say you do go to Utah and you do day 2. I mean, you did it. You're right. If you feel good, maybe you crap out day 2, which is tough. It hurts. You know, it sucks. You get that far and you don't do great day 2. But if your mindset was like, I want a day 2, then you did it. Like, you feel good. Like my buddy, Grant. I told him, man, we went into, it was in 2019. It was at his first or second regional? First or second. And I was like, dude, we just got a day 2. Let's just look to day 2. It was his first expanded regional for sure. I knew the meta was very dark heavy. So I told him, dude, let's just play a fighting deck. Try to hit the darks and let's make day 2. What did we do? We played Lucario. I think there was only 4 Lucario decks in the entire field. 3 of them made day 2, which me and Grant were one of them, or 2 of them. And he was excited, and I'm excited for him too. Like, and making day 2 for me feels really good too. I had a few day 2, more day 2s last year than I've ever had, I think, in a season. And I think that's the next step, is like, when I'm at that, the level I'm at now is I need to day 2, like, consistently, more. Like, I should go to every regional thinking like I need to day 2. Like, there's no missing day 2. I have to day 2. I need to be more consistent. I can't be day 2 or 03. Like, my mindset needs to get better. But at Grant, it was his first expanded regional. He made day 2, very happy. Shit the bed day 2. I think he went like 1-4 or something in day 2. But still happy, you know, he got points. And points is usually the goal. Especially when you're grinding and you just want to get your invite. Points is the biggest goal. Is like, try to get points at every event you go to. So he was just happy with points. When I got to day 2, I was looking to win the tournament. And that's where, like, it switched for me, you know. My goal is to day 2 when I get there, you know, day 2 more consistently. But I've been to day 2 multiple times. So when I got to day 2, my mindset was flipped to, okay, how do I win this tournament? I need to hit certain matchups, and I need to play. I need to be focused. I need my mindset. I cannot make any mistakes here. The players that are in day 2 are good. You're not getting any Joe Schmo. Like, you're not getting Lil Johnny with his deck that he built at League yesterday. That's not a thing. You're getting someone who put time and effort into a deck and is there to win. So you need to be on that level of focus. You need, like, no mistakes, know what you're doing. And I did pretty well. Unfortunately, I got deck checked and I had Junipers and I wrote Sycamores on my deck list. And I was very lucky that I had a very good, or I was lucky to have the head judge that I had. The head judge could have easily ruled that those cards are gone, and I had to throw energy in there. What they did was they ruled that the cards were the same. I just needed to get sycamores. If I could get 4 sycamores, I could put them into my deck. I was able to get them. I put the sycamores in. They gave me a game 1 loss in my next round, which is fair. Like, I completely fair. I could have easily got that card taken out of my deck, you know. But that was my downfall. Going into that round, I won round 1, and then I lost game 3. But I also lost. I won game 2, got the auto loss game 1, and lost game 3 in that scenario, which made it really tough for me to top 8. I think I got 22nd at that tournament, which is pretty close. Like, if I win that one and the next one, I think I'm into top 8. So missing that was tough. But it's the mindset of going into tournaments. Grant got his day 2 as a new player that's just looking to get their invite for the first time. And it's their first time chasing. Points is the goal. Points is always the goal. Day 2 is a good platform to reach for. But finding people like Grant that want to grind, that want to, that are willing to lose and continue. And I think using this first half season thing as a learning platform and just doing as much as you can and getting the idea of what it takes to get an invite in the region that you were at is really good. You probably come short. I don't want to sugarcoat it and be like, oh, if you grind every weekend, you'll get it, you know? You will probably come short. But it's a good like way to realize if you want to go for your invite next year. Like, what it really takes to get an invite in your region, you'll have a good understanding and a good environment. And I think you should go to Worlds. If you can get to London with invite or not invite, I think you should, because I think seeing that environment for the first time, if you've never been to a World, and you want to go, and you grinded this whole half season, and you came up short, it's good to go there because you can look at the experience and go and feel like you want to be involved. To come short and just not go to Worlds and not see that could be really discouraging, and you just could be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I think if you go to the Worlds and then see how good it is and want to be involved, your mindset will turn from I don't want to do this to I'm not going to miss this ever again. And I think Rahul is the one who told me that. Told me that he missed his World invite the first time, seeing all the people, enjoying the environment of Worlds, and watched the ceremonies in the beginning and said, I'm never going to miss this again. And he's never missed it again. I missed it last year on my first try, actually going for it. And I watched it, and I had the same thought process as, I'm never going to miss this again. So I'm willing to grind as much as I can, and if I come short, knowing that I did as much as I could, as good as I could, I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to have a season like last year where I missed it by 50 points because I didn't go to a League Cup that I could have gone to, or that. having that thought process. So it's just not going to be a thing for me going forward. And we'll see after if I make worlds and I enjoy that, and how my life will be. If I want to continue, you never know what your area looks like. Maybe your environment changes. There's more League Cups in your area. It's easier to get. You just never know. I think it's gonna be fun to see people try, and I think you should take it as a learning experience. Find out what it takes to get an invite in your area. Because the invite in every area is different. You have people with League Cups every weekend. You have people with no League Cups. You have people that can travel every weekend to Timbuktu and play in special events. And you have people that can't go to any events. And you got to figure out what it takes for yourself to get an invite and what you're willing to do it. And I think this half a season or 3/4 season or whatever it is a good way to figure that out. Especially never doing it before. Surround yourself with great players is a big key. It will help you navigate through this stuff. It is, again, like, it changes the price of everything. It changes the environment of everything. You'll have more fun. You'll won't spend as much money, and you'll build great bonds with people that have the same goals as you. It's important to find people with the same goals as you. I think I've said that a few times on this podcast. Finding like-minded people is important when you are grinding for an invite. It's also important when you're trying to win. Because if you've watched any of the podcasts in the past, which are all down below, I've talked to all the best players in the world, from Tord, who's won 3 ICs, and got second at Worlds or third at Worlds or something, and to Pedro, to Rahul, to Bradner, to Israel Sosa, Azul, Bakari. I think, like, I've had every great player pretty much on my podcast, but like Andrew Mahone, I think, is like the only one who I have not got on the podcast yet. And those are all there, and I think they all tell a story of how they got where they are and how they stay at the top, and how much teamwork works in this game. Working with people is great. I think it brings you to the next level. Being on the same page as like-minded people with the same goals is very strong in Pokemon TCG. I think it's the one thing that I've taken from every interview is that these top players work with their friends to come up with decks that are very good at this and do very well with. And they will nitpick each other down to a card to make sure that they're playing the most optimal thing. And it takes a group of people to do that. Because if you don't have a group of people, you're gonna play what you think is the best instead of playing what is the best. By testing it and concluding that this card or that or the one card is not as good as this card. So, surrounding yourself with people in this game is great. From financial status to being great or doing well at the tournament, and everything in between is fantastic. So find people in your area that have the same mindset and goal as you, and make a run for it. Well, I think that's all I got. I think what you should take from this podcast is that it's going to be very hard for a new player with 0 points to get an invite. It will not be impossible. It is you will have to do very well. You will have to grind it, and like I said, it matters what region of the country you're in and what your League Cups look like, and that everyone's invite map is different. So, and that at the end of the day, if you take anything from this season, it's you find that out. You find out what your invite map looks like. Try to go to everything you can, and then you'll realize how much money you need to spend to do this and get these points and figure out what your map looks like, and be willing to lose and be willing to take this as an experience and build bonds with people and have fun. At the end of the day, the game is to have fun. And I don't preach that a lot because I'm very competitive and I don't play the game for fun very often. I usually avoid like locals, and I only play when there's something to be won and or a new set is out or something like that. So I'm not the best role model when it comes to having fun with the game, but I think I bring a competitive side to my environment that isn't matched by a lot of people, and I'm willing to do what it takes to get the points I need for the world's invite. But at the same time, I have fun. I find ways to have fun with the game, and I think I have more fun traveling and hang out with friends than I do like going to a local and playing like 3 games and then, oh, thank you. No, I want to have a good time. Let's have a good time. Let's compete. Let's try to do our best. Let's celebrate our victories. Let's laugh at our defeats. Let's make fun of them for whatever reason you didn't do well. Like, I think that's fun. So get a group of people that you can do that with and go for your invite and enjoy the season and try to go to Worlds and look forward to next year. If you get your invite this year, you're fantastic. You're great. It's a good feat. You can put that as a great goal. You played very well if you get your invite from 0 to nothing this year. And like Rahul said, you never know, man. We could be getting to Worlds time and there's not a lot of people that are qualified and they want more and they just knock it down to like 300 or something. And then you're like, oh, I could get that. Like, boom, you're in. So just keep grinding to NIIC and then hope for the best, see what happens. If you want to compete in Worlds one day, take this half a season seriously and grind like you're really gonna get your invite no matter what and see what happens. And then go from there from the next year. At least get an idea of what it takes to get an invite. I think that's very important. And I think I'm going to leave with that. I think I rambled enough so far. But I hope everyone that's new to this game has fun. I'm sorry I'm not the greatest role model for you guys. I don't want... Like, I'm not the greatest role model. I'm sorry about that. But don't be like afraid to ask me stuff. I'm willing to talk to people. I will help anyone with anything. You have a deck idea, you can send it my way. I'll try my best. I'm here. But I'm not like, I don't know. Like, I'm just not that person that's you should look up to as like, oh, he's such a great person. It's like he's out here doing his stuff. But it is what it is, you know? Hit the like, subscribe button. Go to Twitter. If you got a question, hit me up. I'm down. hit me up for whatever you want to. I'll talk to you all. Maybe I am a good role model. Who knows, dude? Leave a comment down below. I'll start reading off the comments again. I read every comment. I reply to every comment. So leave that stuff down below. Audio only versions on every platform, so go check those out. Leave a review on iTunes. 5 stars, because you know your boy Number One Pokemon Podcast gotta have 5 stars. I'll read those off too if you guys leave a review there. So if you want to get on a podcast, say whatever you want on there. I'll still read it. I don't care. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. But for now, we're scooping it up.